presenting. So good afternoon. My name is Mario Artacona. For those of you who I don't know or you don't know me, I am the CEO of Habitat for Humanity of Greater Miami, and welcome to our first official Zoom function. And we are very excited that this is happening. I want to thank the Women's Leadership Council. You know, in our calendar just a few days ago, we would have had our annual hard hats and high heels. And unfortunately, COVID had different plans. So although this is not quite hard hats and high heels, it does present an opportunity for us to spend a little time together. All of us at Habitat really thrive on the connections that we have and the interaction that we have. Ned, I think everybody got unmuted. On the interactions that we have with our volunteers and with our homeowners and sweat equity. So it's nice to see some friendly faces and to make this opportunity to talk to each other and to hear from our partner families. So, you know, I don't have to say that the last few weeks have been very difficult across the country, and we haven't been spared. We have not been able to build with volunteers. We're not being able to be with each other or take applications, but we are back building and processing some files and trying to get people moved into their houses and slowly getting back to normal. I will do a very quick Habitat 101 for those of you who don't know. We are a low-income housing builder, and what our focus is to help low-income families achieve home ownership. I'm simplifying it, but that is the bottom line. And so we do this by partnering with wonderful families that have done everything right despite making not necessarily that much money. And they begin a process called sweat equity, in which they have to work hundreds of hours on other projects and then continue their hours working on their own home. And at the end of that process, they purchase that home from Habitat with a 0% interest mortgage. Now, I am way oversimplifying what we do because we do a lot of other things, but that's of it. It's partnering with families to place them in homes. And the relationship that we form with these families is very strong. And what better evidence that we have 4 great families that are participating on this call. They've been done with their sweat equity for quite some time. They don't have to be here, and they want to be here. So thank you to Dawana, to Tia, Kiandra, Eileen. So nice to see you all. And so what we're going to do is our friend Irby Blanco, who is very engaged with Habitat and has been for many, many years. And she actually welcomed me on a build site on my first week on the job. So she's been at it longer than I have. She has been working in banking in our community for a long, long time and understands what we do in our market. And so she has volunteered to lead this panel, and I appreciate it very, very much. So I will present to you Irby. Irby, take over for me now, and thank you for doing this. Welcome, everyone, and I'll be back. I'll be around.
Thanks, Mario. Hopefully everybody can hear me. And thank you to Habitat for inviting me to moderate this fabulous panel. It is my first time moderating a panel on Zoom, so please be patient with me and have plenty of wine on hand, just in case I screw up, which I might. I want to go ahead and thank all the participants that are here today. Thank you for supporting Habitat, and especially our 4 families that are participating today. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get introductions from our families that are here. The first one will be Dawana. We're going to go in alphabetical order to make everything simple for everyone. So Dawana, if you don't mind, go ahead and introduce yourself and let us know a little bit about you.
Hi, good evening, guys. My name is Dawana. I've been a homeowner since 2016. I applied in 2015. I'm a mother of 5, a grandmother of 1, and I'm a medical secretary. Habitat gave me the chance to own my own home, to get out of subsidized housing and to open up a pathway for my kids to have their own home, to know that they can own and not have to rent constantly. Say hi. Okay.
Perfect timing, Casey. Well done.
So yes, Habitat has been a blessing to myself and my family, and without it, I don't think I would have been in my own home now.
Thank you, Dewana. How about Aileen?
Hi everyone. My name is Aileen Nieves. I also Habitat homeowner for the past 2 years. I started the process in 2017, and it's been a wonderful journey. The Habitat also gave me the opportunity to own my own house. I was ready to purchase my home long time ago, but really the market and the prices was too much for me. And I feel that Habitat helped me to finally have the home for me and my daughters. I'm a mother of two, Nina and Tamara, and we are so happy to finally have our home. It's been a wonderful journey, and I really want to thank all the volunteers and the sponsors to make this home finally a real for us. We helped build this house, and I think I was one of the owners to be in this project every single day. Mario was with me every morning, and I think I was one of the last ones to also leave the project and help build the house. It was amazing, and I'm really, really blessed. And thank you, everybody, for doing this to us too.
Thank you. How about Keandra?
Hello, everyone. So I'm Keandra Ross. I've been a homeowner for 4 years, 4 amazing years. And I actually started this program thinking this is my last option. There's nothing else I can do. And Mario was being really modest. Habitat saves lives, pretty much. So, and that's what it did. It provided me a foundation that I can build on, and it provided a foundation that my children can start to build on themselves. So for me, Habitat, anytime they call me, I'm showing up. So thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Keandra. And last but not least, Tia.
Hello, everyone. My name is Tia Brown. I am the mother of 4 and grandmother of 1. I have been in my home since September of last year, so we're embarking on 9 months. It's funny because every day I used to come by my property and I would take a picture. So I literally have a picture from the day that I chose my property up until the day that it was finished. So every day I get a reminder, and just so yesterday I received a reminder that they were just putting the roof on my house. So today I come to you, I'm blessed, I'm grateful for the opportunity. It was not easy, but it has been very and extremely fair. There's literally no word to express what it's like to come home at night, to not have to worry about where I'm going to sleep, and to sleep in that peace. So again, for that opportunity alone, I'm extremely grateful. I'm an education coach, currently teaching language arts at Miami-Dade County Public Schools, by the way.
That's fabulous. Thanks, Tia. I'm going to go ahead and ask a few questions of our homeowners, but obviously if anyone has a question, you're welcome to raise your hand, and you can either raise your hand like this and hopefully we'll see you, or you can go to the participants at the bottom and there's an option to raise hand, and raise your hand, and we'd love to hear from you. We'd love for this to be interactive and for everyone to participate, okay? So first question, in case you didn't answer during your introduction, how exactly did you learn about Habitat and what made you decide to apply? Some of you may have already made comments on this when you did your introduction, but if you didn't, we'd love to hear your story. And we can start again with Dewana and continue on alphabetically.
Okay. Well, I was living in Section 8, which is supposedly a low-income program, but with them telling me I'm not considered low income with my job for some reason, even with the kids. So basically, I was at the point in my life that, my credit was okay. I started actually with the Miami-Dade County government home. It was too much. They actually told me to go get another job. bring up your income. And I'm like, I'm in Section 8. It goes on my income. I can't. So my brother-in-law actually applied for the program a year and a half before me. So I went home and I told my sister, like, I'm so discouraged. My rent is an arm and a leg. I'm not getting any outside assistance. So she tells me, apply for Habitat. She tells me the website. I go on the website that night, print the application, fill it out, mail it in. 2 days later, Miss Alyssa calls me. So I'm like, yes! So after that, I went like a week later. I started my sweat equity. It took me like a year and a month. And it was the best thing anybody ever told me to apply for.
Oh, that's fabulous.
Yeah.
How about you, Eileen?
I really, I see some pictures from volunteers actually in Publix, because sometimes, they have these small frames and they put the pictures about the volunteer stuff that Publix has. So I started doing my research, and I started reading about how Habitat help people. And I really, first of all, I fall in love with the values and the mission that Habitat has. Because you see, when you open the search, you see all the pictures of the people and the volunteers, and it was really nice. So I started doing all the research. I checked the paperwork, and I think I did that like on September 2017. So I didn't know that you have to wait for the next year. I think they started doing the applications and they put all the information on the website in February. So I was actually doing everything very, very early. So one day I decided to go to the office. I get all my papers. I have a folder. I was ready. And I was like, I wasn't expecting nothing. I was just doing it by myself. And I stopped by, and the secretary was there. It was very nice. I can't remember her name. But I was there like, I don't know how I'm going to do this, but I have all these paperwork, and I wondered if someone could help me. And I remember that day, Monica was going on her break. And she looked at me like, can I help you? I'm like, yes, please. I was so nervous. And she says, no, come on. She stopped her lunch. I'm like, no, but I could wait. I said, no, it doesn't matter. And she started looking through the paperwork. She started signing out papers and doing stuff. And I was there like, waiting. I was like, okay. You can't imagine how I feel when she take all my paperwork and she told me, Miss Nieves, this is the first time in all the years that I've been working in Habitat that I have a full information done and ready to verify and see if you can, do the whole process. And I was like, really? I'm done? Like, I don't have to do anything else. So this is how everything started. Monica and all the staff in Habitat, they're so nice. And they make it also, Mario and everybody make everything so beautiful, because they tell us in Mother's Day that we actually make it to be a homeowners.
Oh, that's fabulous. I'm sure that Monica's ears are going to be ringing the whole time, because all I hear is praise for her every single time that I talk to a homeowner. So that's great to hear. And if she's not on, please let her know, guys, how much everybody appreciates her.
Yes.
How about Keandra? What was your story?
So my story is pretty much, it had to be maybe February or March, and there was this flyer that went out that said everyone in Miami-Dade could apply for Section 8 housing. And I've been working since I was 16, working really hard. So I said, you know what? I want to do something different. So I said, I want to do something different. I want to do something different. And I actually want to own a home. I made sure I took the necessary steps of keeping my credit good. So I went to Habitat. I filled out a package, and they said, you know what? We're not accepting any packages right now. The heartbreak was devastating. And I walked away, and I said, you know what? No. I turned back around, and I said, when will you be accepting applications? So she said, you just have to keep checking, because we have everything filled. So I said, okay. 2 months later, something happened, and I just drove there, and I said, are you accepting applications? And Monica, again, she said, yes, we're accepting applications. I gave her everything. She said, oh, you got to get a money order. I ran across the street to the store, got a money order, ran back. She was like, you didn't have to bring it today. I said, no, I have to bring it today. And I gave her the money order. She takes my package and she calls me for a phone call. And she says, why do you think you should be chosen for Habitat? And I said, I should be chosen for Habitat because I am hardworking. I'm not asking for a break. I'm asking for an opportunity. And she said, okay. And I got a call that said, come to the office. And it was me and 3 other people. And they said, you were chosen. I literally was like, oh my God. I mean, it finally felt like everything fell into place that day and has been falling into place after that day. So it was a whirlwind, but I was on the ride.
Wow, you're persistent, aren't you, Kendra?
I am.
Good for you. Good for you. How about Tia? I think Tia's our newest homeowner of the bunch.
I am. Actually, my mother was a Habitat homeowner in 1993. So I didn't even think about Habitat in the beginning of my quest to be a homeowner. I had participated in 2 first-time home buyer programs, another program in the city of Miami. And again, I want to say, like Duana said, everything was either they were saying I made too much, which I don't know how, or it was just so overpriced. Like, and I kept saying, I won't be able to live with a $1,600 mortgage. Like, I'll be able to pay it, but what else am I going to be able to pay if my mortgage alone is $1,600? So between that, I tried Section 8, that didn't work. I was paying rents of like, and I'm complaining or saying I didn't want to pay a $1,600 mortgage, but I've paid $1,800 a month for rent, and I just got to the point to where I did not know what else to do. And I happened to be in South Miami Heights, and the blitz for South Miami Heights was going on, and I saw it, and it was just like God opened the gates of heaven, and said, here it is. This is what you need to do. So my first attempt didn't go so well. So I didn't have everything that was in there, and Monica sent the package back. She called me and she said, I'm sending the package back to you because you're missing some items. So when I tell you the turnaround for the return of that package was, I could have beat the post office there, because I took the day off from work. I was like, I'm not letting this get away. I don't care how many times I have to go back. I don't care how many times I have to call. Talisa ended up being my worker, and by God's grace, thank God for Talisa, because I know she was tired of me. I called her morning. I called her afternoon. I called even, there are times like I left messages 9, 10 o'clock at night, but she would call me like first thing when she got to work. Sometimes it was 5 a.m. Sometimes it was 7:30. I was like, girl, call me anytime you need to call me, just to let me know what it is that I need to do. And again, I'll always say it has not been easy, but it has definitely been fair.
Oh, well, what a great story. Mario mentioned at the beginning that all of the homeowners have to provide sweat equity. And I'll be honest with you, I mean, I think it's over 200 hours, 250 hours or more of sweat equity. It's hard for all of us to be able to take time to do something like this, but you guys, you work full time, you're raising a family. How in the world were you able to manage that? Let's start with Duana.
My Saturdays for 8 long months. My Saturdays. So, and it worked. It worked out. It was just like, instead of me working 5 days a week, I worked 6 days a week. And I just had my Sunday to go to church and come home and rest. And it was well worth it. I didn't mind. I was going to get my house in the end. So that's what I did my Saturdays always.
Wow. Aileen?
Well, in my case, immediately that Habitat told me that I have to start my equity, I work on my regular job. At that time, I was working for the vitamin shop, the store very near my house. So what I did, I worked the whole entire year. I didn't take no vacation, no time off. So I accumulate all those hours so I could be free the whole month of February to be able to work all the hours necessary in my house.
Wow. That takes a lot of courage from you guys. How about you, Kendra?
So pretty much I did the same thing.
You're on mute. There you go.
Okay, so I worked at Wendy's, and if you know Wendy's has overnight. So I would literally get off work at 4:35 and be on the job site, shower to the job site. And I did that twice a week because I had to max out. Like, I am persistent. I maxed out. So I would go on Thursdays on my days off, and then Saturdays, literally coming off a 5 a.m. shift, eyes bloodshot red. And Irvin would say, Keandra, you could have took today off. No, it's okay. I'm here. So you have to do what you have to do.
Kudos.
I actually worked down south.
You what?
I spent most of my time down south, actually. So we were in the sun.
Good. Tia, how about you? How'd you manage that?
So if I were to be honest, I would tell you I am not an outside girl, right? So that was one of the challenges, so to speak, that I saw for myself. Like, how am I going to get these sweat equity hours? Because my older children were home babysitting the younger kids. So I just, the first day that I went, Fernando, I'll never forget, the first day that I went, Fernando was like the work leader for that day, for the construction leader for that day. And he saw me coming, and of course, it was my first day. So I had on, my shirt was new, it was clean. I had on jeans, but they were clean. And again, I'm not an outside girl, so I found some tennis shoes. They were pretty clean because I'm not an outside girl. My little fingernails were painted, and I could tell Fernando was looking at me like, what? This is how you came to this work site? And it was landscaping. Anybody on the panel know that landscaping is one of the hardest tasks out there. But in my mind, I was like, this isn't my house, but I'm going to work on every house like it's my own house. So that's what I did. I framed my mind like, okay, I'm going to work on my house today. How would I want my grass? How would I want my shrubs dug? How would I want my landscaping to look? And that's the mindset that I took. But if I told it was a challenge, it was a challenge. But when I left, Fernando told me, and I'll never forget, that I was one of the hardest working homeowners that he had ever worked with. And I was grateful for that, because in my mind, I was like, girl, you cannot do this. But he reassured me. And then after that, it's like everybody becomes family anyway. So on those Saturday mornings, it's like everybody's looking for everybody. So it's no longer like sweat. It's just like family, and we're helping each other build our homes. We're building our village, our habitat village.
I'm going to jump in, Irby, if you don't mind, I'm going to jump in real quick, because what the ladies are all alluding to, which I think is a very important part of Habitat, is that we're not just building houses, we are building communities. When these families have all worked on each other's homes, and Keandra mentioned that she had to spend a lot of time down south, even though her house is up north, because that's where the sweat equity was available. But more often than not, people work in homes that are very close to their own and their neighborhoods. And it's sort of, you put in several families. We've seen this in Liberty City in particular, that we put in families in different blocks, and it's sort of a renaissance. People that know each other are looking out for each other. If somebody's kid's on a bicycle and, you know, maybe not up to no good, it's like, look, I know where you live. I know your mama. Not that any of the children here would ever, you know, but you know what I mean. It's a built-in community building, and that's a very, very integral part. And I also have to say, from what I'm listening, I have to give kudos to not just Monica and Talisa, but the entire Habitat staff, because what they're mentioning, that Talisa, who's one of our family services people, and Monica, that they're always making themselves available. They truly feel that all of our applicants are family, and you always help family. And when folks sometimes apply and they don't make it, it's never just no. It's no, not right now. If you do this and you do this and you do this, you can come back. So everyone is treated with a lot of respect and a lot of care. We're not trying to trip anybody up. Their success is our success. And so I just wanted to give props to the Habitat staff, because really this is not just a job, it's a mission, it's a calling, and I am very fortunate to have such a wonderful team. And thank you, ladies, for pointing out how important that they are to this entire process and how close that they have become to you. So thanks.
Thanks, Mario. Yeah, and I was going to say that I've done the landscaping, and I'm telling you, I'm sore by the end. Just one time that I do it for just a few hours, it's hot, it's muggy, and it's exhausting. I mean, we're literally dead by 2 o'clock. We don't even stay. We usually don't even stay till afterwards because we can't even walk. So kudos to you, and I greatly admire all of you for doing what you do. Let me just ask if anybody has any questions before. I do have several other questions I want to ask our homeowners, but and we'll, opening it up for anybody else that may have a question.
Question. This is Yvonne.
Hi, Yvonne.
First of all, I want to congratulate the four of you for your determination, your tenacity. It's amazing. I'm teary-eyed over here listening to the stories. And you all talk about all single moms, lots of children, one grandchild. I heard from Tia. How do you compare your current new home that you're obviously very proud of to your previous living conditions before you became a homeowner?
For me, it's incomparable because I walk into my own house every day and it's mine, and I pull up in my own driveway and it's mine, and my children play in their own yard where they're safe and I can look at them and watch them. And I've somehow been blessed with like the best neighbors, and my mortgage is not $1,600. My mortgage isn't even $1,000. Praise God.
Wow, that's
Wow.
great. That's fabulous.
In my case, I could say that the same like her. The feeling of you come inside your own house, your own home, you could say, I'm gonna put this over here, I'm gonna paint these over there. I just repaint all my house outside and I don't have to ask anyone which color I should use or when can I do it. No, I do everything around my house myself. We do a new garden outside. My daughter is working in a compost project for school, and she loves be in her room. Like, she is my daughter, my older daughter, she's a painter, so she has all her supplies, all her stuff in her room. She loves to pass time in her room, and nobody is telling me like, no, she can't do this or she can't do that, she can hand this over here, and or watch out with the painting because she's gonna damage the carpet, stuff like that. So the freedom to have your own place and you could make your own decision is a unique feeling.
That's great. It all sounds like peace of mind. Peace of mind when your children are outside, peace of mind inside the house. Thank you. I really appreciate both of you sharing your story.
Thanks, Yvonne, for that question. Anybody else have a question?
Irby, this is Lydia.
Hi, Lydia.
How are you?
Doing well, thanks.
Tia, you had mentioned that your rent payment was higher than your mortgage payment. How about the rest of you? How do you compare what you were paying in rent to what you're paying on your mortgage now?
For me, my payment is actually lower than my rent was. My rent was, like she said before, you're taking almost one check and a half to pay your rent, whereas now comfortably you're taking you're paying your mortgage and you have money left over. I'm too blessed. Big difference, big difference.
Anybody else?
I will jump in and say very quickly that part of the formula for Habitat is that the payments are no more than 30% of the household income. So if you make a little bit more, it'll still be 30%. The term of your mortgage might be a little shorter, and that's 30% at the time of closing. So, ideally folks will start making more money, so it'll be even less and less of a burden. And the purpose is, affordability is a life changer. Keandra said there's a little money left over. That tutor that the kid might need for schoolwork, or a million other things that you would just not ever have the money to do. And it just changes everything. And it's just a winning formula. Habitat is proof that one idea can change the world, because this started with putting faith into action and making affordable. And now Habitat is in 76 countries, and they have built, hundreds of thousands of homes worldwide. In Miami, we've done 1,200. So there are 1,200 stories like these. Everyone has a little different journey, but the landing strip is always the same. It's your own home. So, but those are very good questions about income. And sorry I jumped in there, but I love the 30%.
Thank you.
Something that I would like to add about that is, like, when you're renting, you never know when your payment is gonna go up. Yeah. Because every single year they supposed to do it every single year, that they increase your payments in your rent. But sometimes it wasn't like that. I have times that every 6 months or every 7 months they're increasing your rent, and like, okay, I'm in the same job, you have this minimum that, they increase your payments, your job paycheck, but they increase like this your mortgage. So it gets into the point that you don't know, okay, I'm gonna work more hours. I'm already working 50 hours a week. I'm barely seeing my kids. My mom is helping me out. And then you're there, you feel trapped. You feel, okay, you're not telling me that you're going to increase my rent. Oh, but the market, and we do the research, and it's going to be $70-$80 more every 6 months. So it gets into the point that, okay, I need to do something, because you can barely afford where you're living anymore. And then they don't maintain your appliances, they don't maintain your apartment, so your light and your water keep going up because the maintenance of the building is very poor. So you're building your home, is the new home, everything is new, so you have a peace of mind that, okay, I'm gonna pay this, and this is, I know that this is how much I'm gonna get paid.
Okay, and my rent also, my mortgage is cheaper than what my rent was in with Section 8, which is a program that's supposed to help you out. I was paying $1,200 with 5 kids, my only income, no food stamps, no extra income, just one job. And it was crazy. And now I do have change left over, like Tia says, and also Keandra. So yeah, it's much better. I do have a little bit change left. I don't have to pay rent out of 2 checks like I was paying, because I didn't have enough. I had my car note, I had my lights, I had food to buy, I had my car insurance. And luckily, I made my last payment for my car a month after I moved in the house. So that gave me a bit of money. So I accomplished multiple milestones when I did my closing, when I put my foot in my house. And the best thing, like I said, that could ever have happened to me and my kids.
Well, that's fabulous. Thanks, Lydia, for the question. Lydia is the head of our mortgage department at Iberia Bank, so I figured she would ask something having to do with the mortgage industry, so that's good. Thank you. Any other questions from the audience before we go on with a couple more questions that I may have?
I
Kirby,
have
we
a quick
do.
question.
Oh, sorry, Maureen, go ahead.
It's okay. Gladys can go first.
Gladys.
Well, I just want to say I want to congratulate you all, and it's always so inspiring. I've been involved now with Habitat for the last 4 or 5 years since our hard hats and high heels. Too many H's there, but all good. I knew about Habitat, but I really did not understand the business model and how inspirational it was until I got involved, right? So I did wonder always, do you all ladies, are you able to keep in touch with other Habitat, those folks that have gotten the same type of experience that you've had? Do you stay in touch with them? I've always been curious because you have such a special connection.
Well, in my case, I have a couple of house owners that we actually met when I was working for the vitamin shop store, because like I say, it's very near here, my home. And sometimes I come across with other homeowners because they have the shirt. I'm like, oh my God, you're a homeowner for Habitat. So they get very excited. Right now it's a little bit difficult for me, the communication, because I'm a flight attendant now. So I'm on the go most of the time. But yeah, I met some of them working in the store, and we have share our experience at that
That's
time.
awesome. You're a flight attendant for what airlines, if I may ask?
I work for Spirit Airlines.
Awesome. That's great. It's a special club you all belong to. Anybody else wants to share that? I think Tawana, you have mentioned something.
Yes, I was actually one of the participants, or one of the 10 out of the 2016 Blitz. So it's a coincidence because I still volunteer for Habitat. I do home visits whenever Miss Talissa asks me.
Awesome.
So two of the actual homeowners that stay right down the street, I actually did their interview after the fact of me being selected. So yeah, we see each other, you know, we do speak. My neighbors are awesome because it's four of us side by side that built together, and my actual neighbor, like right to the right of me, we're super close. The couple behind me, they're older, super close. So yeah, it brings us together. We build together, we pray together, we look out for each other. It's nothing that we won't do for each other. We look out, we talk, nothing bad to say, good area.
That's awesome. That's great. That's awesome.
I wanted to say, Joanna, I was trying to figure out where I knew you from. You did my home visit.
Hi, baby.
Yes, that's where, in Homestead.
And I'm like, I don't know where I know you from.
Oh my gosh. That's crazy. Okay, I wanted to add to that. Like I mentioned before, like we become a family. So even for homeowners that were just starting, when I was finishing, I went back and I helped them finish their houses, or I helped them paint, or for landscaping day, they'll call and say, come on, can you come? You know, I want to get as many volunteers or as many people who can come as I can. So we all keep in touch. If anybody's having anything, we'll text and say, do you want to come over? Is anything happening? So it like I said, it's like a family. Once you get in, and it's not just us, it's like construction crew with Monica, Talisa, Jackie. You just pick up the phone and call. I know we probably get on their nerves. I'm not saying that we don't, but it literally becomes like a family.
That's awesome. Thank you, ladies. That's awesome. Thank you.
That is so cool. And Tia mentioned that she learned how to do just about everything in her house while she was training. So I told her whenever I had any issues here, I would call her, and she said that was okay. I'm just letting you know.
Tia, I might call you too.
Call me. I'm telling you, call me. I can almost work on a construction crew.
Yeah, I'm seeing a business opportunity.
Yeah, exactly.
I heard that.
The handy women of Habitat.
Yeah,
I like it.
Oh yes.
Yeah.
And you have to wear hard hats and high heels when you go to your job site.
You got to cut me in for 10%. I came up with it. Okay, we'll talk later.
Leave Mario out of it. Maureen, did you say that?
Yes, there's a couple more questions. Grandis has some questions about volunteering. Right now, because of COVID, we don't have volunteers on site, but we're hoping in the next month or so that that we'll be able to start again with volunteers. We miss our volunteers, as Mario said in the beginning. You can check our website as soon as we're allowing volunteers. Then we'll have it posted there, and you can click the volunteer. It'll take you to a site which has the calendar and the opportunities that are available. And she also asked where we were building in the South in particular. And in the South, we're building in Goulds mostly and in Perrine. And she also asked if the requirements were changing because of COVID. But unfortunately, in order for the families to be able to make the mortgage payments, we cannot reduce the cost of the mortgage payments. Barbara also asked what the minimum amount is, and it depends on the well, the minimum number is 35,000 right now, but the maximum amount depends on the number of the people that'll be living in the home.
You're talking about income, right? Minimum
income, yes.
Okay.
And she also asked if, because I think she heard that all four of the women here are single parents, but it is not a requirement to be a single parent to own a Habitat home to be accepted into the program. So hopefully I got all the questions there that were, Barbara also asked about a minimum credit score, but we look at the relationship between if there's any outstanding any debt, and we look at the relationship between the debt and the income versus the actual credit score.
So you're just like a bank.
We are just like a bank. We have to cross the T's and dot the I's, and our banks or mortgages are actually originated by a bank, so that they meet all the requirements. And
you know, it's very important to do these reviews. And I think one of the successes of Habitat, I think the two important things are a very good qualifying program. It does not serve a purpose to anyone, either the homeowner or the Habitat, to cut any corners or to put someone in a home that is not going to be able to afford it. You cannot set anybody up for failure. So sometimes we have to be a little tough, particularly with folks that are very, very close, but we've been at this for a while. We know what we're doing. And then harking back to sweat equity, I think that the sweat equity, you know, a lot of folks are like, wow, Habitat, you're selling below market and you're lending the money at 0%. I want in on that. We know that there's always people who are trying to take advantage of opportunities. Well, sweat equity has a great way to getting anybody who's trying to game the system, because it is a sacrifice. And so again, I go back to how this model works. It's so simple, but it works. And then one of the things I really want to work with here, and we have a great partner in Miami-Dade County. 95% of the land that we get is from the county. So we're already partners. And what we want to just shout from the rooftops is, look, this works. Invest in this. You're not investing in real estate. You're investing in people. And those are the people who are going to keep your economy afloat. Those are the folks who are going to turn your communities around. And so forums like this and participating families like this are just the greatest word of mouth to tell our story. So we're very, very, unfortunately, there will always be a place for Habitat, because the gap between income and housing in Miami is in the top 3 in the country. It is terrible. So with a little grain of salt, with every single house that we build, we tackle that on. And so we're all very, very motivated. And this COVID situation is only giving us time to refocus and regroup, and we're going to come out firing. You're going to see great things from us in the next couple of years.
Thanks, Mario. I did have a couple of other questions, but since you brought up the COVID situation, I wanted to ask you guys what kind of experiences you've had because of this whole pandemic. It's been a very difficult time for everyone in the community, as you know, but statistics and everything has shown that lower income communities and minority communities have suffered much more greatly than everybody else. So we'd love to hear your story. What have you learned during this quarantine? What's been going on with you during this coronavirus pandemic? Tawana?
Well, I work for a doctor. So basically, he's an ortho. His job is hands-on. So we didn't see patients for like 2.5 months. So I literally was confined in my house for 8 hours, working on the computer from like 7:30 until like 4. Taking a break here and there with all the kids home. My granddaughter, my youngest son, because he has asthma, he can't be outside. He's afraid to go out because, you know, he can get sick and get really sick if he gets the COVID. So then I have my oldest daughter here. So it was just crazy. Like, I'm not used to having a house full, including me having to work. My youngest daughter on school, her senior year, trying to get everything done. It was a lot of adapting to do. And of course, yeah, I have my backyard. I was able to take a break for like 10 minutes when I needed to get out of the house, out of the noise and whatever. My work from home, I never had to work from home. So that was a challenge also, because I can only take so much with me, computer-wise. So it took a little bit of adapting, and now, believe it or not, I'm more established with it. I'm comfortable with it. Yesterday was actually our first day back in the office with patients, but minimum. So it's like I'm working back into the swing of things. So 2 days in the office, 3 days at home with everybody still. So, I mean, it worked out well. It's not as bad as I thought it was at first.
It's amazing what we can get used to, right?
Yes, ma'am.
How about you, Eileen?
In my case, I become a flight attendant last year. The training was pretty hard and it was a lot of time consuming. Right now, I'm not flying at all. Spirit Airlines has been cut the flights to the minimum. We are 1,400 flight attendants in Fort Lauderdale base. So since they cut so many flights right now, there are only like 200 of us flight attendants working right now. So I choose just to take time off and be here at the house. It's been hard for me being at the house because when you're a flight attendant, you're on the go all the time. You're flying to different places. Sometimes you're flying 4 or 5 days in a row. So I just try to be busy. I'm painting the house, I'm doing the gardening, I'm taking Portuguese classes online. I'm trying to do something. My daughter is baking all the time. I'm not gonna tell you how the light bill is going in this house. Oh my God. But she's baking all the time. She's doing a lot of stuff in the house. My other daughter loves to be in the computer. So for them, it has been a little bit more easy because the school, I think they start doing homeschooling, I think in April. So for them, it's not been, that kind of a change. They like to be in the house. They do the homeschooling. They already finished school. So now they're, I'm trying to keep that at the house. Sometimes they just, they want to go to the friend's house and do some stuff with other girls. So, we try our best to keep it in the house. If they're not, everybody have to wear their mask. If you want to go out and, share with your friends 6 feet away. And that's how we're trying to, to do things around the house.
Yeah, wearing the mask is going to help a lot. Thank you. How about you, Keandra?
So for me, COVID has basically made me be a teacher and a manager at the same time. I currently work at the Veterans Hospital. So we didn't close. We've been open and we've had to show up. And so we had to really focus on interaction, reassuring our team members. And to go home, my kids are like, "You've been around sick people all day." And I'm like, "No, I haven't. I'm not a doctor. I'm not a nurse." But we have that interaction with those doctors and nurses that have been around these people. So it's been a kind of little trying for them. And then, you go home and you're doing homework and you're doing math. And to the point, sometimes I'm on Google researching some of the homework, like, hey, this is not math anymore. So I've worn 2 hats these last couple of months, and just gotta be careful. I know one thing, it's got the world on our hand washing motto at work. Wash your hands, cover your face. So other than that, one day at a time. That's what our motto is right now.
Thank you. Thanks for what you're doing for us. And
Thank
Tia,
you.
last but not least.
Gratefully, I've had the experience of working from home for the last 4.5 years. So for me, it wasn't that big of an adjustment. For the children, it was a very big adjustment. However, I'm grateful for the time that we've had at home because I got to see where there were some shortcomings in their learning. I didn't enjoy being their teacher, so to speak, even though I teach everybody else's students. I did get to see some other things, but we got to spend more time together. We got to have conversations that we wouldn't have regularly had we been on the same rigmarole of getting up in the mornings, rushing out and picking them up and coming back, rushing dinner, shower and bed. So I think in that aspect, I try to look at the positive side of it all. Yes, we've been home. Yes, it's been difficult and easy, but we got a little pool for them to splash in the backyard. We got some other yard games. It had more outside physical activity than it would have normally had. And so I took all of those things that we hadn't been doing and started paying more attention to what they were actually saying. Because sometimes you're just like, you come home, you're just like, let's get this homework done and go to bed. But now I'm listening. Why is this homework, more difficult? Or why is it that you feel this way about things? And just the conversations have been different. So while it has been challenging, I'm also grateful for the opportunity and the time that we've had to spend together.
Well, thank you, Tia. I think that I really appreciate the fact that you said that, because I think that that's one of the few positive things out of this whole thing, is the fact that our families have been able to get closer, and we've been able to do a lot of things together that we haven't been able to do in the past. And I'm sure you're all grateful that you have your own home and you were able to spend the time in quarantine, those of you that have been in your own home, and enjoyed that. So I think we're about to wrap up, and I believe that Maureen is next on the agenda.
Actually, it's Alex.
Okay. Mine says Maureen is going to introduce Alex, so mine is wrong.
I can have 2 introductions. That's fine by me. No,
Sorry.
I just wanted to say quickly, I wanted to thank you, Irby, first and foremost, for volunteering to moderate the panel, and thank you so much for being such a great advocate for us, for always being on their beck and call, and you're always, you're giving up your time for us to help us. Irby has moderated a couple other panels that we've done in person before coronavirus, and they've been amazing. And this one went so well, and it wouldn't have been so successful, I think, if it wasn't you moderating. So thank you so much. And I really wanted to say thank you to Duana, to Aileen, to Kiana and Tia. Like Mario said before, you guys did your sweat equity. You don't have to be here. You're doing this out of the goodness of your hearts, because you care about the program, because you care about us, and because you care about the homeowners that are coming next. And I think that speaks volumes to, to the relationship that we build, the staff with the homeowners, and then homeowners with Habitat. Thank you for being so candid and so open with us. That's not easy to do. We really appreciate you guys, telling us your stories. And I think I speak for everyone when we say that they were inspiring, and it was inspiring to listen to you guys today. And then I want to give a really, really big thank you as well to all our supporters and our partners, especially the people that came out today to watch this first Zoom call, this first information. It's going to be one of many, hopefully. Our board members that are on the call, our Women's Leadership Council members, we have a few here, our Women Building Up Women members that are here, all our donors, all our volunteers, all our partners. None of this is possible without your help, without you guys out there volunteering your hours and your sweat equity, without you guys, without your financial contributions to us, without your dedication. I mean, incredible women and incredible families like Keandra, like Duana, like Aileen, like Tia, they wouldn't have had this opportunity. We couldn't do it without you guys. And, our mission is to build strength and stability and self-reliance, right? And that becomes even more difficult now during these times because of this pandemic. And now and moving forward, we're going to come in strong, but we need you guys more than ever. So we're going to be sending you guys a follow-up email with some more details of how you can get further involved, how you can contribute if you want to, and how to help homeowners that are in the program now and get through it. So please be on the lookout for that. And I look forward to seeing everyone soon in person, hopefully, if not, on another one of these Zoom calls. And have a great night. Thank you for coming. And if no one has anyone else, if Mario doesn't have anything else to add, or Irby, then I think we can conclude the call. But thank you again.
Thank you, everybody.
Thank you. Bye. Stay safe.